Hi everyone, this is Lisa Marie from Artistry by Lisa Marie, and today this video was going to be about mostly me coloring my Christmas goat, but it also turned into a video about how things don't work out the way I plan. Uh, and I think that's actually kind of fitting for coloring as well, so I'm just rolling with it. I wasn't going to originally show this video just because it's not really working out the way I had hoped with the camera and the lighting. But then I thought, nah, that's just part of life. I'll share it anyway. So this is the Christmas goat that I drew a couple days ago, and I was gonna just color it all in with colored pencil and then a little bit of jelly roll pens at the end. But I mean, the lighting just didn't quite work here. You could see it's flickering a bit, and it's just not quite showing the color the way I like. But that's life. And as I was reviewing this video, I thought, you know what? That's also how it just goes. Sometimes when you color, you pick the colors you want, you pick out the palette you want, you get in there with a medium that you choose. And then as you're going along, or even after you're done, you look back, you realize it just didn't work. And it's okay. I mean, it's okay to realize that something didn't work out. For me, it's okay to realize the lighting I chose for this video did not work out. It's okay to use the coloring experience, to use any experience as a learning moment. And that's what I am choosing to do here and choosing to share with all of you here. I am sharing with you my learning moment with the lighting. I will probably never move my lamp like this again over my studio. But I get to share it all with you, and isn't that just a great bonding moment for all of us? Um, the actual coloring page that I'm coloring here, like I said, I'm using mostly colored pencils, and I really wanted to just create the whole foundation for this whole grayscale coloring page, foundation of color with colored pencils. I was really looking forward to being almost a purist with my medium for a little bit here and just using just pencils. Oh, there you can see me leaning forward and you can see my glasses. Yay. And so you can see I'm using just pencils on the grayscale for now. I really just wanted to build them up. And also, I wanted to talk about the color palette that I was using in this coloring page, which is actually kind of fitting in a way because I wanted to talk about the colors that I chose were inspired by the Sistine Chapel by Michelangelo. And what's kind of fitting and kind of funny about this is, oh, look at my glasses. They just keep on getting right in there. Again, this whole video did not work out the way I planned. But anyway, what's fitting about the whole Michelangelo Sistine Chapel thing is everyone in the art history, art world, uh, had thought forever that Michelangelo used dull colors, and they wrote papers on it, they wrote books about it. Whole art theories were all about how Michelangelo painted the Sistine Chapel in these dark, earth tone colors. And I mean, it's been around for 5 centuries or so. It's been around for quite a while. And then, modern day people just kept assuming that that was his color scheme, and they based paintings off of it and everything. And then one day, or actually for a while, some art restorers came along and they cleaned the Sistine Chapel, and they realized he used bright colors. They just seriously washed away centuries of dirt and candle smoke and dust. And I mean, it sent shock waves through the art world. There, you see, I just readjusted. I'm trying to fix the lighting. It was just a kerfluffle. But it sent shock waves through the art world. Everyone had assumed and, based their careers and created works of art based on this theory or this idea that he had used dull earth tones. And instead, he used bright reds and bright greens and orange reds and subtle blues. And the colors actually pop visually off of the ceiling in the Sistine Chapel. They don't blend in, they come to life and they pop off the page or pop off the ceiling. And visually, it's just so interesting if you ever look at before and after images of before it was cleaned and after it was cleaned. And I think that's kind of fitting here. You know, I had planned something, I thought something was going to be a certain way, and then, you know, when you get into it, it's completely different. So, in a way, it kind of ties in nicely with what I was planning on talking about, but we're just gonna roll with it. So getting back to the color palette, I used the subtle blue in the background. You can see I blended it into the white paper, so it's very soft. I used bright green and bright red in the holly, and then I did use actually a little bit of painter marker on those berries because I really wanted the white sheen to pop a little bit. So I'll right out the door, you know. I did something else. And then he uses those orange reds, and I just love that color. So I decided to use that in some of this detail work around the baby goat. So start with the red, sort of as that underpainting foundation, and then build up with oranges and yellows. Um, and I made it three-dimensional by keeping with the shading as, you know, a consistent light source. But I mixed the colors on the paper to create that orange red that I really like. He actually does use some soft purples in there too, so I was like, yeah, let's toss it in too. It'll be fun. So I'm using a lilac here. That's the name of the color, but I'll write down all the colors that I use in the video description for you. You don't have to guess. I'll write everything down for you in the video description. But this is a lilac, and it's just a very nice, soft color, and I thought it complemented nicely with the blue, but also I was having a little bit of fun with how the colors, all the colors in this palette played together. You know, the opposite of blue on the color wheel is orange, and the opposite of purple on the color wheel is yellow. I mean, we have a lot of complementary colors very close together. The opposite of green is red. So all of these complementary colors are right next to each other, very close proximity, and it helps make all of them pop off the page and look more vibrant. I'm softening it here with a light peach color, softening up that purple, blending it. I'm using my lighter color pencils to blend and soften the darker colors. And even here, I mean, my darker colors aren't really that dark, but I'm using the lighter colors to blend and soften the darker colors. I want it all to be just soft and vibrant. I'm not using a lot of white to really blend or soften anything. I'm just using lighter colors because I want the colors to still be rich on the paper. I wanted to try to mimic the bright colors that were used by Michelangelo. So here on the scarf is that apple green again. I love that green. It is just so fun. Make it pop a little bit by pushing some of the shadows with that darker, actually I think that's a dark violet that I used. Again, I'll write it down. So it's okay to push the shadows and push the darkness, but and then a little bit of red mixed with green really pushes that shadow because again, red is the opposite of green. So when you mix them together on paper, you're really going to be pushing the shadowy spots. You can't do too much of that because then you end up just sort of getting a murky color or a murky brown usually. But a little bit, just a touch of the opposite color mixed with the green, a little bit of red mixed with green can really push those shadows and make them super nice. The blue all around was the subtle blue. I made it a little bit darker in the scarf. I just wanted it to pop a little bit more on the striped scarf. So I was having a little bit more fun pushing the shadows, but still, it's a soft blue compared to a lot of other blues that I've done in the past. This is this is easy. This is a very soft, light on easy on the eyes blue. I do use the white on the scarf just because I really wanted it to pop out. And then I started in on the goat, and the goat is the one exception. I'm not using bright colors to start off with on the goat. It's a lot of earth tones with the browns. Um, and I often say with grayscale, you know, I start with a dark, medium, and light. So dark, medium, and light brown. That's how I'm going to build up my grays and block out my shadow areas and the eyes. But then you can see on the side, I've already pulled out some other colors, some orange, some pink, some yellow, some blue. I'm gonna eventually, as I'm building up the fur, start pulling in the oranges and the blues, which do complement the colors all around. So it'll be subtle, but it'll be a nice mix of colors mixing into this, earth tone, goat, which is the center point, the center focal point of the coloring piece. I used beige quite a bit on the goat's fur, and that's what I'm using right here because, again, I wanted to go more for a softer, more gentle look, lighter, brighter. Usually, quite a bit, I like going dark. I love dark colors, but again, I wanted to do a little homage to the Sistine Chapel color scheme, so I had to push myself to try something different and just go a little bit lighter here. Had to push against my instincts to just make everything dark and intense and then have the bright accents. Now I'm using the blue uh, just in the shadowy areas. I'm pushing where the shadows are, and that's going to help the lighter areas really pop out. White pencil I used here to accent some of the lights, and I love playing with fur. When I put pencil down over fur, um, I always move in the direction of the fur. And this is where I leave the pencils behind and I pick up my Jelly Roll pens and I'm pushing with actually black pen and white pen. And that's how I'm pushing the shadows and highlights a little bit more. Then I grab the brown because I just want the colors to be a little bit richer. But you can see I'm still moving with the fur. When I put down the color, I always go in the direction that the fur is going. And that just really helps maintain that texture and the lighting. And then I use the white pen for just getting a bit more texture and highlights. I really wanted that texture. I had so much fun drawing this goat. I wanted to maintain the texture that I created originally on the coloring page. I had a lot of fun with it. Then I soften it with pencils over the top. So I did pencil, pen, and now I go over again with pencil to soften the whole overall look. Then I decided I'm just gonna wing it and have fun. The lighting isn't working anyway. So I took my glittery pens and I outline a lot of the shapes with that brighter color. And again, can't really see it in this lighting because that's the way life is, but it gives it a whole other dimension where, I wanted to make it pop off the page. I wanted to add a little extra something fun and different. So I just outlined and I went right over all those dark lines and just really adding a very subtle, fun element. Just a brown to outline the goat because, again, the goat's not really that glittery. And then silver just sort of spackle and stipple all around the edge. It was kind of different. It was fun. Not gonna lie, I'm not too happy with the way the video came out, but I'm glad you all came and visited me today. And here is a photo of the final colored page. Thanks for visiting me in the studio.